Have you ever eaten the nostril meat on the moose?
I haven't, but I've been with guys who have. I hunted with probably the best moose hunter I've ever hunted with in my life. Unbelievable native guy that I hunted with on the Kayakuk River in Alaska. And I would take, I took the meat that I would eat, and then we went through the moose with the meat that he would eat and the things that he wanted to eat. And it was really fascinating. And I've tried almost all of it, but, basically he had, and all of the meat from my moose that I killed with him, went to his family. And then, we ate a bunch when we were on the trip, but yeah, he would take like the mesentery, which is the clear membrane, that vascular clear membrane that holds the guts basically in a sack. He peeled all that off, which is huge. It's like the size of a hood of a car, but it was really cool. He peeled all that off. And then, which is really like, it's almost like saran wrap, gooey, sticky, wet. And then we laid it over a log and it dried overnight into kind of like a giant cornflake. And then he would break that off and he'd put it over our eggs in the morning. And so it was kind of like a piece of almost like a thin, translucent pork rind, if you will, was over our eggs. And it was very good. It was very, tasted a little bit like kind of like organ meat, or it tasted a little bit like, I guess maybe like a pork rind or whatever, but it's really good. So I've tried some of those things, but that's typically not the type of pieces of the animal that I harvest beyond all the regular meat that we just described, and then also the heart and liver. But, I only take a portion of the liver because it's massive.
What is there any nutritional benefit to this this piece of meat that you would put over your? I don't even know if you'd call it meat, would you?
It's not. Yes, it's a membrane, but yes, membrane. Absolutely, it would have nutritional value. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just about any of that stuff. Like if you were stranded, right? If I were stranded or needed to utilize every last scrap, we'd eat the brain, we'd eat the eyeballs. There's you guys have probably heard that in survival books, but those items are absolutely chock full of fat. So we'd eat those things, and they look. Obviously, you look at a moose brain, it's pretty uncomfortable to look at any brain type material. And I've never eaten brain, but I don't think any of that stuff would be as foul tasting, or as once you got past the texture, I don't think it'd be that bad.
Yeah, I think it's in your mind.
Yeah, once you get past that.
The pork deal, the nose deal, I saw a video, and they were in Alaska in this place. They make a loaf out of it, like pickle loaf or something, and they use the nose, and they eat the nose and and the lips and stuff. And I don't know what the name is, but it's a delicacy. But the Eskimos, or I don't know what you call the people that live, the natives, the Indians, the Eskimos, whatever they are. They have different things. Have you ate whale or seal with them where they did it in the oil?
I've not eaten either of those. The only thing that I've eaten with native guys, I've eaten several different preparations of salmon where they dry them over the summer. And then also I've eaten kind of a cold soup that's made out of the salmon eggs. And then I've also eaten the fermented salmon that they bury in the ground and then let ferment over the summer. And then I've eaten sea otter. I've eaten all of those things with native guys. And I've eaten other native things that I wasn't entirely sure. I've eaten Eskimo ice cream or Indian ice cream, which is actually Crisco, sugar, whitefish, and berries, whatever berries in season.
I've seen that. Is that any good? Is that any good?
Yeah, it tastes good. It's slippery, right? Its main body is Crisco. So but a lot of times these guys, they're working so hard that they're piling all this fat into their body, and but man, that their shiver rate is high, right? If they're in the northern Alaska.
That's great. Well, rate this salmon. So this fermented salmon does not sound good to a boy from West Texas. How was it?
No, horrible. It's
That's what I thought.
One of the worst things. I mean, if I cut a 1-inch cube and put it in one of your homes, everyone would evacuate. Yeah.
And do you feel
the Inuit and the Athabascan Indians, they do this. And from what I understand, some of the young guys that I would work with or come across, I'd say, they call them stinkheads. I said, do you guys eat stinkheads? And they're like, no. That's an old timer thing. And then some of the young people I met, I said, yes, I eat stinkheads. I've been eating it since I was a baby. So they actually look forward to this process at the end of summer. But unless you've been doing it since you're an infant, it's not going to go well. It was not only was it didn't taste good, it was, you know, it physically affected your body. Like it, you know, putting it in your mouth, you know, it was really bad. Really uncomfortable.
Did you feel like you had to try it, or you was going to disrespect them?
No, not to that level, but they were literally rolling on the ground at my response. Like, couldn't walk. They were laughing so hard. And then they were speaking Yupik, which I'm sure wasn't complimentary to me, but I couldn't help but laugh at what they were saying.